Welcome to this episode of Let's Chat. I'm your host, Chris Revill, coming from the Cat Cave in Providence, Rhode Island. We got a little bonus episode today with Vern from Cinema Recall and Ashley, who is my new friend, who flew all the way out from Minnesota to Rhode Island Comic Con. So Vern and I have been friends for 5 or 6 years. We've been podcast friends. We've recorded several podcasts. I've been on Cinema Recall a bunch. He's been on Let's Chat a bunch. He's going to be next week's guest along with our good friend Dwight Hurst. I've done, Lambcast. We just have been really good friends over these years. And this was the first time we actually got to meet in real life. And I can't even tell you how full my heart is. Rhode Island Comic Con was by far the best weekend I think I've had in possibly. It was one of the best weekends I had in my entire life, if we're being perfectly honest. Vern and Ashley, I can't thank you enough for coming out and showing me just so much fun. Man, and they know how to party. Let me tell you, we ended up, we'll talk about a bit of the episode, we ended up going to the Boombox in the Dean Hotel in Providence and doing karaoke, which is something I've never really done before. Just nothing but great things to say about our experiences at Rhode Island Comic Con. Very well organized, great COVID protocols. Everything was safe. So thank you so much to Rhode Island Comic Con for the press pass. We can't wait to see you next year. Hopefully you'll see us moderating some panels if we get our act together. Little housekeeping. We're going to actually speed up. We're going to end up having a good amount of episodes coming up. So next week we'll have your regularly scheduled program with Dwight and Vern. The following episode will be Sean Rogan, the founding member and guitarist at Big D and the Kids Table and Jirak Studios. After that, we're going to have Matt and Sonetta. Matt from Streetlight Manifesto is returning with Sonetta, and I'm in talks right now with setting something up with Dave McWayne from Big D and the Kids Table, thanks to Sean. So we have a good ska week. Little housekeeping. I was recently a guest on Dwight Hurst's podcast, The Broken Brain, where I talked about my experiences with post-traumatic stress and EMDR therapy. It is the first and probably the only time I think I'm ever going to cry on a podcast. So thank you so much, Dwight, for that. It was really special and cathartic and scary, but I'm very glad we did it, and it looks like a lot of people listened, so thanks for that. Let us know, do you like these mini episodes? Do you want to hear more of this stuff? Keep the conversation going on our Facebook community, Let's Chat Podcast community on Facebook. We're on all social media at Let's Chat Podcast, and I don't think there's anything else to plug. Oh, yes, there is. So this episode is actually going to be airing on Vern's feed. This is part 2 of an episode of his Comic-Con recap. Him and Ashley did a part 1, and then I met with them at the hotel and did a part 2. So if you want to hear the part 1, go check that out. Check out Cinema Recall. It's a really wonderful podcast. I've been on a bunch. It's always a great time. Vern's a great dude. Let's get to it.
With Chris Revill.
Oh my God, this is so weird. We've recorded several podcasts episodes together on multiple different podcasts over these years, right?
Yes.
Let's Chat, Cinema Recall, Let's Chat Live, Lambcast.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of shit together.
A lot of shows.
Never in person.
In person.
Yeah.
Actually, it's just funny that we're doing this. I can see the Hasbro sign from where we're sitting, so maybe they should sponsor us.
Yeah.
I used to work at the Starbucks by you, Hasbro. Hit me up. You gotta remember me. I used to harass all your employees about PlayStation 4 details and Xbox. One of the executives would come in all the time, and I'd always harass them. It was super cool.
But yeah, we're here at the Rhode Island Comic Con. We're actually here the day after Rhode Island Comic Con, and the whole thing has just been, it's been a whirlwind
Holy fuck.
event here.
So many steps.
One person I forgot to mention too on our last episode is Chuck and Brad. Podcast.
Love those guys.
Got to meet them. They were really super nice people, and
Who was it that you talked to in the hall when we stopped them?
that was Chuck.
Did you talk to? Okay, then I talked to
Brad.
I talked to Brad. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Super nice dudes.
Yeah.
What did Brad talk to you about?
Honestly, my eyes were full of stars and hearts, so I don't really remember what we were talking about.
Nice. That was pretty nice.
They are.
We were just chatting about just con and just random shit.
But I'm sure that's how it be. And Chuck was talking about, because Chuck was doing some moderations. He's the one that did the Clerks reunion
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was there.
They did that.
Yeah,
They did a ton.
Yeah.
They did the Kevin Smith one too as well.
Yeah, they got that. I'm sure they'll tell this in their story, but so Kevin Smith, I went to that. He was 45 minutes late to his thing on Friday, so they just threw Chuck and Brad up there, like kill time for 10 minutes, and they kept them up there for 40 minutes. I went up to the mic and I asked them a question too, because they're sort of like, I don't know what to do. But yeah, those guys are those are like real life, like you have levels of friends, like you have your like podcast friends and your internet friends, and then your friend acquaintances. We're like real life friends.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm super happy. Yeah, they have been nothing but kind and wonderful to each other. They've been on my show a couple times and vice versa. They're just good eggs in Rhode Island. They bring a lot of good juju here. And we met Carl from Codex Prime too.
Yes, we did.
We got a selfie. I saw Victor later on that day. I don't know if you got to meet him.
I don't think I got to meet him yet.
Yeah, I love those cats too. Those are our podcast Rhode Island nerd crew.
There was also a good friend of mine, Daniel Fogarty of Folds Movie Reviews, that was here for like a day or so, and we just kind of missed each other. Like we were so close, and I just saw online that he's here. Like, oh, you're here. Do we have a chance to meet? He's like, nope, I'm just in here for one day, but I left town.
Oh my! Speaking small world. So I went to that Kevin Smith Q&A on Friday night. It was like an extra ticket you had to get.
Yeah.
Was it Kevin Smith? Yeah. And somebody I knew from my summer camp I went to when I was like 12. And like, I lived in Connecticut. We've seen each other since. They were like 3 rows behind the microphone. I asked a question to Chuck and Brad, and we didn't even see each other, but it was like we texted and we didn't end up, because Kevin went long, we ended up missing each other. But that's the same thing, like, we were in the same fucking room. We texted and we still didn't even see each other, because that's how big Comic Con is. I knew a lot of people here, and I didn't see half of them, just because it's Comic Con, right? You have, 3 buildings to go through? You have there's 3. Just because someone's here doesn't mean you're going to see them. It's just funny.
Yeah, you see them if you're lucky.
Yeah. It's just been like a whirlwind, and I know there's other things. I know that I definitely want to do more of like the celebrity sign-in, but I didn't really want the autographs. I just wanted to go up there and say, hey, I like your stuff.
You could do that.
You can? Okay.
I do it all the time. I went up to Dave Keckner, because he's on the voice actor from F is for Family and a lot of stuff, but I know I'm friendly with his the creator of that show.
Well, Dave Keckner, he's an Anchorman, right?
Anchorman, yeah. So I'm like, well, we know some of the same people, so I walked over like, hey, I'm a mutual friend of Mike Price, and immediately like, oh my god, Mike Price is great. So we started tweeting a little bit.
See, that's cool. So you have that little right there too. I would turn to like Chris Farley and the Chris Farley Show. And I'm like, remember that time in Anchorman where you wore that hat and you said "woo-wee"? That was awesome.
You remember that time in the office where you shit in
Michael
Scott's office? That was amazing.
Right. I was telling Vern, I wish we want to get to a point where we have enough success and money where we could just hire Ashley to be our person to go to cons for us.
Yeah, I would love
social, because you are amazing at that.
Thanks,
I'm
Chris.
much more awkward and social around people like, hi! Listen to my show!
Would you play? There's a card.
Here's a sticker, I don't have cards made.
Like, hey, how's it going?
I know, you too. Is that how you guys are in real life at home too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because when I know that this after the con, we went to the karaoke bar, which first time I karaoke.
Oh,
I think.
So
Boombox.
fun.
Boombox.
Yeah, Dean Hotel, baby. And like, I was like, Vern just got up and started dancing with some ladies. I'm like, is this how Vern is at home? Because
Yes.
I was like, wow.
Getting a secret look at Vern.
That's
I
right.
know.
He's like,
I know. I'm more reserved than that usually, so you guys brought me on my shell.
oh, I'm good.
Yeah, glad.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
like a pistachio.
I was watching
just
her-
took you out of there.
I know, we went to Comic Con, which you think would be the most fun, but the highlight for me was karaoke with you all.
Hell yeah.
Oh, hell yes.
That was honestly one of the most fun nights I've had in my entire
That was
life.
so
like,
fun,
when
and
we
I'm
sang
so
No
glad
Doubt,
you came. Yeah.
I like somebody else like ska.
Yes.
I like watching videos because I can tell how much ADHD I have when everyone else just stands there quietly, and I'm like fixing my belt and walking away and stuffing and jumping, and everyone else is like weird and just like ah.
That was so fun.
You were great helping me out with the Harvey Danger.
Yeah,
playful
Black
stuff.
I made you all do
Twitter.
Machine Gun Kelly because I lost my voice.
That
and
was
nobody
good.
knew the song.
Yeah, we all knew the chorus.
You were
that
like,
was about it. I just walked away. I was like, and now I'm the camera guy.
Yeah, see?
Who
Nice.
was your friend that you met at the bar?
Oh, so I met a lovely little gal named Robin.
She
was
was
sitting.
so Harley Quinn. I'm gonna think of her as
Yes,
forever.
yeah. She sat downstairs at the bar, and I was waiting for Vern to come back from the panel that
I think it was the Tony Todd panel.
Tony Todd panel, yeah. And I was like, well, I'm like, I got ready, and like, we're gonna go out tonight. I'm like, okay, he's not back, so I'm gonna go sit down at the bar by myself and see like what flies I can attract. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go downstairs, and there's Robin sitting by herself, and I'm like, is this seat taken? And she says, it is now, sister. And yeah, we just became super fast friends, which is great because she's there as a vendor. Yeah, she was there as a vendor. I think her group was
that Polly something.
Polly Armory.
Polly Armory, thank you. Yes.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. And she was just super sweet, super nice. I was like, I'll be your mama bear all night, girl. Take care of you.
She was really nice.
Yeah.
One thing I actually really liked about both of you, like, you know, getting to meet you in the first time in your life, is that you also were really kind to all the staff, because I've worked retail for years.
Oh, yeah.
And you all brought food back to the bouncer and the bartender. I'm
Yeah.
like, those are my people.
Yes.
No matter what happens in life, I still, like, have that, like, retail restaurant worker blood inside of me. Like, I go to a restaurant, I'm cleaning up the table.
Same. I just want to stack the dishes for them and, like, make it as easy as possible.
I just want you to know that I'm not really part of this crowd. I just happen to be here. I'm really you.
Yeah, I'm you. I'm just on break. I'm just eating.
Yeah, like, I'm usually one of the poors working, so
right, yeah.
I just want you to know that we're on like that tribe.
Yeah, Tony, the bouncer at the Boombox.
Good dude.
He was a good dude, and he's like 3 weeks out from a bodybuilding show in Florida, and he asked Robin, are you hungry? Would you run and grab fries? And you can grab fries for yourself. And Robin's like, yeah, I'm gonna see if my friend will go with me. And he's like, oh, she won't do it. And when he told me that, I was like, Tony don't know me. Tony don't know nothing. Of course I'm gonna go with my girl. I don't send my girl across town by herself in the dark.
No.
Oh.
So what were your highlights though? Because like Comic Con, we were talking about this. It's so many once in a lifetime surreal moments back to back to back. It takes me like a month to process. Like, that happened.
Yeah.
That happened.
Oh, I
That happened.
Yeah, I hugged Matthew Lillard. I spoke to and had my kid on FaceTime with Skeet Ulrich.
Mom of the year.
I got to like take a selfie with Skeet Ulrich. I got to smell Skeet. What a rich aroma. No, I'm just kidding. No, he smelled like a normal dude. He smelled great.
Your kid's reactions when I saw the video was just really great, because your dog's driving and she's trying to watch the road and then look over and say,
yeah.
I can't. It's audio right here, but her mouth just was like wide open. And
it was super cool that they let me do that. Like, I was like, okay, I have to ask, my kids know I'm here with you right now. I'm like, can I FaceTime them? And Steve was like, heck yeah. And Matthew Lillard was like, really? We're going to be in FaceTime hell. I'm like, it'll be fine, Matt. Just don't worry about it. Come on.
I wonder.
Which I'm kind of surprised it worked too, because the internet connection to this whole time is shoddy right there.
My kid did say it was super glitchy.
Hey, better than nothing.
Better than nothing. And I screen recorded it, so it was like being recorded on my phone.
That's so beautiful.
Vern recorded it, so they'll have that memory, and that's pretty great.
Do you wonder? I was thinking this too. Like, I wonder how much of all the celebrities are extra happy because it's post-COVID, because like cons just came back this last year.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because there's like, I've gone around Comic Con, and usually the celebs aren't that nice. I'm not being rude to them, but
sure.
You know. But like, did you have that too post-pandemic that like every time you go to dinner, you're like, oh my god, this is the best day of my life.
Yes. Finally.
I'm outside the house.
I felt an
seeing
energy
people.
I can eat food that I didn't make.
Yeah, I definitely felt an energy here I've never felt at a con before. I mean, it's always wonderful, but it was just like every human being I interacted with, it was just like our souls were connecting immediately, and like we're like, I love you, and we're never gonna talk again.
That's right. Yeah. I love actually just giving hugs to people. That just felt good.
I saw the guy free shrugs.
Free shrugs, yes.
And he was very great. Yeah.
Oh, so my wife Victoria, who isn't on the podcast because she's at her job like a sucker, she got to ask. She's a Star Wars fanatic, specifically Ahsoka Tano. So we went to the Star Wars Clone Wars panel, and she's a very she's shy introvert, and she got the courage to ask a question to Ashley Eckstein, and I complimented her question, and Ashley Eckstein told her she was beautiful.
Nice.
I've never seen my wife like fangirl and almost cry, and I videoed the whole thing, and it was like, but those moments, like,
that's beautiful.
I don't know, and Because, those people aren't famous outside of those rooms.
Yeah.
Like, they're not. Like, Ashley Eckstein will walk around Providence, and outside the con, ain't no one know who she is. I don't mean that as a bad thing. I think that's what's kind of beautiful about it.
Because she's
voice actor.
She a voice actor.
Yeah. So there's something of, like, to see them care as much as the fans.
Yeah.
Because I've been to panels, if you'll allow me to derail as per usual.
Okay, that's fair.
A few years ago, we went to a Billy D. Williams panel at Rhode Island Comic Con, and it was the worst thing I've ever seen. It was, like, straight up out of Galaxy Quest. He, like, didn't have a moderator. He literally told the crowd to not ask stupid questions. He refused. He was, like, and William Shatner.
Billy!
William Shatner, too, same thing. Got angry at the crowd when they asked questions about Star Trek or Star Wars. Like,
that's what you're there.
William Shatner did an hour about animals, about zoos. We left his panel. It was so terrible. It was like he was like angry. I'm like, dude, just don't fucking come here. You have way more money than I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you here?
Just don't come.
Like, I would expect that from William Shatner, but Billy?
He was such an asshole. We left. And he went on some weird, like, conservative tirade, which is fine if you're conservative, but it was just like, people are like, what was it like making Star Wars? Like, I'm sick of talking about that shit.
Then why are you here?
Why are you at a panel at Comic-Con?
Could I come on, if I was there, like, Billy D, could I get you a Colt 45 and calm down a little bit? Do you need that?
I think Billy D would punch you right square in your face.
Probably would be.
You'd be like,
but hey, it would be an entertaining end to the con.
That's true.
People would remember it.
That's right.
They would videotape it. Like, Vern fucking teased Billy D. Williams about Colt 45, and he cold cocked him one.
Cold
He got knocked out. No, but all right, I got punched out by Billy D. Williams. All right,
that would
that's
be a
fair.
story for life.
That would be.
You know what sweet story I heard? Remember that nice woman we saw at the bar at the VIG?
Yes, that her with her two kids.
Yeah, I met that. Me and Victoria had sat next to them at Trinity, and then she had two little girls. Really sweet mom. She came. I wish I knew her name. But I hope maybe she'll hear this because we gave them all of our information. And her girls love Cobra Kai. And when I was leaving the con on Saturday with like Michael, the guy who runs it, and Ashley, after you went to the hotel, Cobra Kai went over by like 45 minutes because they wanted to do all the meet and greets, and they kept the con closed, and the Cobra Kai cast stayed an extra like 45 minutes.
That's so nice.
Past their contract.
That's epic.
Just to get a picture with even security stayed late, and it was just like
so nice. Well, we saw when we left yesterday out of the back door, we saw
Peyton List.
Saw Peyton List. She came over and said hi, took a picture.
Martin Cove.
I can never think of Martin Cove's name. I see his face, and I'm just terrified to get his name wrong, so I don't even try.
I forgot the character's name, but the head baddie from Cobra Kai.
From Cobra Kai, and I saw Hawk, and they were all getting, I'm sure, shuttled to the airport. But Peyton came over and introduced herself and let me take a picture with her. She's super sweet. I mean, I remember my kids watching her on Jessie. She was like one of the girls, from the Disney show. So
I didn't really recognize it till everyone left. Like, oh, that was Peyton List from Cobra Kai. I just did not put the two together because the sunglasses on there. And plus, when I saw her on the show, she looks a lot younger than when I see her in real life there too. And I know it's been like a couple of years to do something makeup
and she was
here.
wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, and so at first I thought that it was actually Martin Cove's agent. His assistant and whatnot. I know she's from the show and everything, and it's got to be a weird sort of thing too for celebrities to come to events like this, and they're here around fans. But I gotta say, everyone here has been super respectful and whatnot there too. Even at the panel with Matthew Lillard and Steve Ulrich, they're roaming around the floors too, and have these guys like walk past me, getting to meet Tony Todd. You just realize this is just jobs they do.
Did Vern tell you that?
No.
So we went to the Tony Ashley. Your friend, what was her last name? Your friend Ashley?
No, Lisa.
Oh, Lisa.
Lisa
God,
Lee.
you're
That's
Ashley. I'm
Ashley.
sorry.
Look over here, Chris.
I know. I can do that. Lisa moderated that fantastic Tony Todd panel.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, she had him read Goodnight, Rhode Island.
She told me she was going to do
She
that.
forgot her dictionary. I read that book to my daughter every night.
Yeah.
So we
Did he read the whole thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So he was leaving because we hung out to go say hello to Lisa.
Yep.
And to say hi to Lisa. And he walked by us, and I was like, "Oh man, that was great! I read that book to my daughter every night. That was really special." And he goes, "My man!" And he walked over and gave both me and Vern huge handshakes and a big hug.
Oh wow!
And he was like, "Thank you for coming, man. That was wonderful." And then the security people like pushed him out of there. But it was just like, I have to do that.
He's just super, it's a super, very relaxed guy. That was a very fun panel that Lisa put together. So shout out to Lisa from the Rabbit Hole podcast group right there, from Syphilis, Between the Stairs. She did a wonderful, wonderful job. And she even tells me too that she has just only done this because, she has her friend Michael who runs the thing here.
Michael Gianfresco.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah, and so she's able to come to this though. She's just starting to do podcasts.
I'm gonna hit her up because we're local. So we're gonna do an interview soon, but I'm like, you need to. I'm trying to get people to start podcasts and then pay me to make them for them.
Yeah.
Which so far it's been working pretty good.
So,
Come on, baby. Give me that sweet dollar.
I was even telling her, I've moderated like some not Comic Con, but I've moderated a couple panels and like I host and like I'm uber nerd for this kind of like this stuff. I'm like kind of critical. She was an excellent moderator. Excellent. Like when you have too big a crowd, get the fuck out of the way. No one cares. Like I went to the Mandalorian one, and the Angry Greeks live were great. They're like, you're not here for us Q&A, bam, and that's how you should do it.
Yeah.
The Tony Todd one wasn't full, so you had to fill time.
Yeah.
She almost did it more like a podcast, and then she really, I actually didn't know who he was until I walked in. And I just felt like really connected to them. I thought she did such an incredible. I gushed over her. So I was like, "You did such a good job." I was like legitimately jealous of her. I thought she did such an amazing job moderating.
And so definitely wanted to do more of that. I'm still like in a flustered sense of feelings and emotions of actually getting a chance to be here. And
I know you're not even from Rhode Island.
I'm not even from Rhode Island. Me and Ashley are from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and so coming on this trip has just been a huge event here. I'm still trying to get over my head. I definitely want to come out to more of these. When I talked to Lisa, I mentioned we're going to try and do something with Terracon, and hopefully I'm going to try to contact the people from Joe Bob Bridge / Drive-In, because I know Darcy, the host there, is following me on Twitter, and I'm hoping to get some leeway in there, maybe talk to their people talk to our people, but I want to do something like for a HorrorCon this year, October, and I talked to the gentleman over at the Horror Vault, they're a vendor, and they're down for doing some help out with this. So I'm going to try and find more horror podcasts, horror sponsors.
Well, actually, there's a horror-based Providence podcast.
Is there?
I hate horror.
Sure.
Which is weird because I'm on this like PR list of all these horror movies, and I don't know why I'm on. Like, I don't want these.
How did I get here?
Yeah.
Send those to me,
did
man.
this to me?
I need to do that. Or I'll just give my password because I hate forwarding emails.
Okay, sure, okay. Fair.
But they do a podcast. I think it's like PVD horror, and then they do screenings at the local library.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah, we have a really great podcast scene in Rhode Island, and I like to take full credit for, but that's not the case.
That's cool.
It's all Chris all the time.
But I will definitely say I have worked really hard to. I don't know about you all, but I grew up in like the hardcore emo ska, like. I grew up in like the music scene in Connecticut, so I take a lot of those like DIY punk ethos to when I started the podcast. So I really want to have like a podcast around podcast scene, and it definitely is one, and it's great. I'm sure in Minneapolis, it seems like you might be kind of getting there too. We do
have a good like music scene over there. The podcast scene, I know there's Minnesota podcasts, and I tweet them out there. It's just tough to get them.
It's hurting
involved.
Cats. It's so but that's why like Codex Prime, Chuck and Brad, like those guys. There's a lot of podcasts here, and I really try to reach extend an olive branch to everyone. I don't always get around to it, but the reciprocity of those cats, I can't even thank them enough because those dudes have been just so wonderful, and I find like. I know I think maybe. Do you have like? I ended up inheriting a Rhode Island podcast Facebook group.
Okay.
So I'd recommend maybe making one for Minneapolis, even if it's not active. At least
it's there. The name's out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're the guy.
All right.
And then like hitting up local presses. That was been the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
I not to be braggadocious, but like I've gotten fortunate over these years. Like I've gotten into like some national press. Nothing happened. I got into like the little Rhode Island stuff that no one reads. Oh my god, my number's skyrocketed.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's great.
Oh, well,
getting in the Warwick Beacon versus like Vulture was such a different experience.
Nice.
Yeah, so like Vulture, ego-wise, is like, oh my fucking god, this is my dream come true. The Warwick Beacon, I'm like, I didn't know my town has a paper, and then
that's epic. Okay.
And then that was what really shot you up.
That kind of. So that's I've been kind of making that push more local, but I now love that like we took Minneapolis and Providence podcast scene and we did our cross-pollinated. Me and Victoria want to come out to Minneapolis and hang out with you.
Please do.
So bad.
Oh,
please do.
We
It's
love
so
that.
great.
Yeah, I should, especially after going to the Boombox. I'm like, oh, these two not have fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you know when you're out with people, and we're both parents, so there's always that level of like I want to have fun, but like I don't want to end up like with someone blowing lines of coke in the bathroom.
Yeah,
and
those days are over.
Yeah,
I miss those days of talking to the drunk guy in the bathroom, just trying to get a bump of
and if you did that,
candy.
And we just met. I was like, I don't think they're coke people. If they are, that's fine. But I'm just not.
Oh God, no! I was actually talking to a friend yesterday. I said I can't even take Tylenol with codeine. Like the minute the codeine hits me, I'm like, I hate it.
Like I felt like I said, wow, you guys are our people. Like you like to really have fun, really party, but in a way that like I still went home safe and at a reasonable hour.
Yep.
I was home by like 12:30.
We all went out for each other.
Yeah. Like, I feel like you and I have the same. What my therapist calls it, a lightning rod for emotional connection. So, and I talk to everyone, so I've found myself in dangerous situations only because I just want to. I don't leave. I always stay at the party way too long, like until it's about to become an orgy, just because I just want to talk. And I felt that immediate kind of like, oh yeah, we're the same.
Yeah, that's me.
I don't want to do the heroin, but I do want to talk to you while you're doing it.
I would like to. I want to observe the heroin.
Yeah, like
I want to see what's gonna happen.
I'm a drug counselor too, so I'm like, I'll have my Narcan on me.
There you
so
go.
we'll take care of this. So like, no one's gonna die, but like. We've known each other online. You just always wonder how that's going to be when you meet people. It's like, oh my God, these are like my people. Like, we should just rent a house together and just live together for a week and just.
Oh gosh, that would be great.
Record forever.
I would love that. Yeah.
When we get Let's Chat Media, like, really, we get that would be our big goal is to rent a house down on the beach and all of us bring the whole crew and just fucking party for a week.
That'd be so fun.
That like 5-10 year plan. Not even kidding. That's like the goal is just to make a boatload of money and treat everyone around as well.
Well, so I remember I did tell you, because that's just kind of a cool thing too, because during the week me and Chris had our kind of business meetings.
We went for lunch as friends and then ended up becoming business partners by the end of the meeting.
Yeah.
And the whole time was like, we need
Is that when you guys went for
soup.
Pizza and soup and I took a nap?
Yep.
Yeah. And I was like, how do we hire Ashley? We need to get revenue to hire Ashley.
Just ask me. Just ask. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
I was like, just take over my social media, go to a con, and you're done. Like, my God.
I'll be more than thrilled.
Being the fact that this is your second podcast here, Ashley, I was very excited when I heard about your podcast idea about you hosting a show.
You gotta start one.
I would be so happy. You are definitely a natural.
You've got such a personality for it.
A heartwarming voice right there, but she had this idea, and I'm gonna do a bad job of like saying it or what it is explaining it. See,
don't say it. Somebody will steal it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
It's such a good idea. Don't say it.
Don't say what it is. Okay.
It's definitely not about crayons. Okay.
Well, she's gonna have people on her show, and they're gonna talk.
Yeah.
Oh, that's new.
That is new. And then I'm gonna talk, and then we're gonna exchange ideas.
Wait, are you gonna have two people talking about random topics?
I might even have three.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
See?
So did you buy any art at Artist Alley?
Oh,
you got a tattoo.
I got a tattoo. Yes.
Can we shout your artist?
Yeah. Jesse. Oh golly, hold on.
We'll find it.
We'll tag it. We'll add it.
It's
but
beautiful,
she's
by the
from
way.
Dallas, and by the time I saw her, she was ready to go home. She's like, people can tell that like my energy is different. I'm like, I'm kind of getting that. Like, I'm an empath. I feel that. Like, I'm like, are you doing okay today? She's like, I'm just ready to go home. I'm like, I kind of tell.
Yeah.
Like, her just like, and I'm like, you don't have to chat if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Like, just quietly work. You don't have to entertain me. You're fine.
I'm an empath to the detriment sometimes.
Oh, 100% me.
Yeah, like I have to I've had to spend a lot of time in therapy learning not to take on everyone's.
I need therapy. I need to go to therapy. I have a real heart. You know
we'll talk another time because that's my world.
Oh man. Yeah, but Artist Alley. Yeah, I did get a print from someone. To be fair, I didn't realize it was a print until I got it back to the room.
Oh.
So that kind of bummed me out, but it's still really pretty.
Me and Victoria bought so much stuff.
I bet.
Prints. I bought. Oh my god. This is Comic Con. I bought a Ghostbusters light switch cover.
Nice.
We bought
from that big Ghostbusters.
Yeah, with the 3D.
Ghostbusters thing.
Someone had a 3D printing table, and they also had light switches covers.
Oh.
We bought home decor. I bought mugs. I bought stuff for the walls. I bought Christmas
and you
ornaments.
can just carry it home.
Yeah.
I was like,
I
there's
live
so
up the
many
road.
things that I can't. I would have been like, I would buy buy the
All those
shit
people have
out of
Etsy
them.
at least, so that's
Yeah.
I'll follow them. But yeah, I bought some good woodworking. Someone made like a Loki woodworking thing.
Oh, nice.
They made
Okay.
a wooden Han and Leia with the "I love you, I know" in Victoria.
Cute.
We got Jurassic Park for my brother-in-law. Shout out to my brother-in-law Alex, who will never hear this, but he came with us. He had a great time as well.
So let me ask you guys, since I didn't really ask this on the last episode with me and Ashley here, what has been your favorite cosplay outfit? Has there been a costume that you saw here that was really kind of stood out and was...
That is tough.
The Spider Family was really
The
cute.
Spider Family was cute.
Did you see Alligator Loki and the mom and the baby dressed
Yeah.
as Alligator Loki?
I don't think I saw that.
But then there's some really good ones, like that puppet, that one you posted.
The
I didn't see.
Sketsy.
The Sketsy, yes.
Yeah.
Holy
I was getting a
shit.
tattoo at the moment at that time.
Yeah.
And then when you came and showed me, I was like searching.
Yeah.
I couldn't find it. What a bummer. I really wanted to see him.
Doing
That
the-
looked amazing.
The 401 first doing the photos with the Star Wars people. Like anytime I see an R2D2 that works, I still like. I can't handle it. And I'm not even a Star Wars person.
Sure.
I just love that little robot so much.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a guy that was the Mandalorian, and he had like a voice box too, and
Yes.
he was awesome.
I think we got a picture with them.
I
and
got a little
Sabrina
video
Wren.
of him because I wanted to hear his voice.
Yes.
Yeah, he was really neat. Yeah.
There was a girl dressed as Snow White who actually had the voice. She was sweet. I like
Yeah,
that.
I got a picture with her.
Ghost Rider with the motorcycle.
Oh, the
Yes.
11-year-old girl.
They
Yes.
were at one of the panels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were terrifying.
That was good right there.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Was the Human Torch, I think, was in
I
there
didn't
too.
see them.
Thing.
The Thing.
Yeah.
Yep, Spider-Man.
He was great.
So during when you got the picture with Audrey 2,
Yes.
there was this I call her a Black Goddess. They were bowing to her. I don't know who
Yes,
that
she
was.
was. I don't know who she was either, but she was amazing, and we can tag a picture of that
Yeah.
because that's already up on your Instagram, isn't it?
I don't know if that was you took that one there.
Yeah, I
don't know if
did.
that was up there.
I took a lot.
There
Yeah.
was, I mean, the cosplay was just, my God. Remember, I thought maybe Vern and I had this, but when I was like younger, it was always like, the joke was like women didn't go to these things.
Yeah.
And I'd go to I'm like, man, I wish I knew about this when I was younger, because there were so many good looking people. Men and
Yeah.
women, like, there's some gorgeous people there.
Like straight up, like Wonder
Model.
Woman.
Oh, yeah,
model.
yeah.
Like there were people that looked like
Very
the
similar.
characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
I
Even
swear,
non-cosplay
the
people
Wonder
was-
Woman looked very similar to Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
I think she was
Gal
from
Gadot.
Angry Greeks. I think she's from the
What?
Angry Greeks
Oh,
podcast.
okay. Oh,
because
great.
they moderated the Mandalorian panel.
Okay.
Shout out to Giancarlo Esposito. I've been to many cons and many panels. That man wore a fucking full 3-piece suit and a huge ass hat. He was dressed to the nines for his panel.
Ooh, fancy.
Was
that good one? The Mandalorian
yeah,
one?
it
Was
was
they all
great.
dressed there? Okay.
And then there was a guy. That's another cosplay. There was a person who looked identical to Moff Gideon, dressed as Moff Gideon. And Giancarlo Esposito saw him in the crowd and pulled him out for it. It's like,
Oh, that's awesome.
My
Oh.
God, I actually thought it was. I actually almost walked up to say hi to Giancarlo because it looked like it. They
Yeah.
looked like, I wish I had a picture. It was
Dang.
incredible.
My other
if
favorite.
I was with you, I would have gotten one.
Yes, I know. I'm too nervous.
See.
That's what you
We're gonna get it.
My other favorite one there too was the guy dressed as Bob from the '89 Batman, and
Yes, and his
Joker's girlfriend.
Wait,
She had-
and she had the mask on, and then when she took it off, her face was scarred underneath.
Like the action, yeah,
Yeah, that was amazing.
that was cool. And they even had Predator, and Predator had on his armor mask, but then Predator took the mask off, and it was the Predator
And
face.
I think he had like a little sound box because he made the sound when
Yeah.
he took it off. It was awesome. And the woman that was walking around with her had just like an Arnold cutout face in her costume.
Yeah.
The best.
It
You're
was
like,
cool.
get down, there's a bomb.
It's so
Yes.
funny. Like every time I would take a picture, I'm like, "Oh, do you have an Instagram? Do you have a card? Anything?" And most of the people are like, "No."
Yeah.
I was like, I guess in my head, I just like, "You must be doing this to promote something," and they're like,
No,
Nope.
it's for fun.
"No, this
fun.
is just Halloween part 2 for
Yeah.
me."
Yeah. And they put like a lot of detail in these outfits here, like almost movie level detail.
Oh, yeah.
Just to go to our con for a date. Hopefully, someone takes a picture of them.
Did you see Darkwing Duck? Someone had a full-on Darkwing Duck
I
costume.
did not see that.
I got a picture of them, and I'm like, "I'm gonna show your creator," and I don't think they knew what I was talking about
Oh,
because
fun.
they couldn't even
Oh,
see the face. Like it was a full-on Howard the Duck Darkwing Duck costume.
Yeah.
There was just so many
beautiful.
great.
I try my best too when we did take pictures. I'm like, all right, go to Instagram. We'll post pictures on there. Whatever. I should say go to massage.mom because
Yeah.
that's where most of the stuff is going to be is on your Instagram because you're
Paul.
big in like social media. I should give you our.
Oh, I don't have that
Simple
many
Recall
followers.
password.
I'm big as in I like to post.
Okay, see,
I'm
hey.
definitely not big in I have a lot of followers.
I have followers and I hate to post.
Yeah,
That's a
see?
problem. That's a real
yeah,
problem.
that is a problem.
I know. I've been trying to get off to unload that to somebody else for a long time, but that's a job you have to pay someone for. And I don't have any money. We're working on that.
Working on it.
I know. If I was like a young single person, I would probably nothing would happen. But in my fantasy, I would clean up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If I was like young and single, I mean, obviously that would never happen because I'd be like, pretty girl. But yeah, it was just like, but just I don't know. Like I felt like on another level the whole time. I fellow empath, like that energy that was like lifting me to a place I don't think I've ever like. I felt like I was on like I've never done ecstasy, but I'm sure it was like that.
I've been to other cons in the Minneapolis scene, and that was fun. One thing that's great about the Minneapolis scene is all the party rooms that happen at night. The party rooms are great because they design hotel rooms to look like movie sets or shows. Yeah, they
Why
do.
have I never gone?
Yeah.
Why don't we do that instead of going in a booth? We should just throw an after party, an unofficial after party.
Well, I'm very disinvolved with conversions for next year's because I definitely want to moderate some panels over there.
That'd be great.
I want you to do that.
It costs more money to get like the main hotel there, but there's a hotel right across the street, kind of like how we are now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can just do that. I would definitely want to see the other party rooms because you just tip them, $1 so they have drinks and they have a whole Doctor Who room they made. Someone made a Ghostbusters room to look like the containment center for Ghostbusters. They had like a Twin Peaks one. It's really just super.
That's amazing.
It's super epic. So a lot of people put their effort into cosplay costumes, but also there's a lot of great set design work. People that work in plays, they put these together. And
I've heard that about set. Do you know the Laugh Stash, or Ash Blodgett and like the Let's Rewatch folks?
I don't think so.
They're friends. I know they go to San Diego Comic Con and they don't even go in anymore because San Diego's so big that there's like a whole second universe just around the con.
Okay.
Because it's so big. And I think Rhode Island's slowly getting there. When I first came to this con, it was just one building, and then eventually they had that second building, and this year they had like a third building.
Oh, geez.
So I wonder if you see this in 5 years, it'll be like across the street has
Spilling into
it has unofficial, like Free Play had like some unofficial stuff. I've heard that like there's a whole nother like ecosystem of Comic Con in San Diego that's not even affiliated with the con.
Okay.
Where you can just go there, hang out with your camera, and just like. I would love to see Rhode Island get there. I have to shout out to the organizers. I've been to this thing many times, and this was the best organized one I've ever been to.
Very much so.
They did a great job because there have been some issues in the past, and I'm not going to default anyone because I don't know how to organize, but god damn, they did a good job.
They did, and it felt great too the way they organized everyone. I'm still kind of like surprised and flabbergasted that I come here from Minneapolis. In Minneapolis, you have our press patches, and we just get into places.
How
There's
cool
no
would that
line.
feel?
I
Walking by the
felt-
lines and being like,
I felt really special.
Yeah. So, yes.
I was like, I'm important. I am pressed. They're like, who are you with? Don't you worry about
Yes,
it.
yes.
I'm with myself.
I've been married for 8. I've been with Victoria for 11 or 12 years. I don't know, a long time. And the most important thing, the coolest I think I've ever felt as her husband was the Star Wars Clone Wars panel was lined all the way up outside. You couldn't get in, and we got to walk by a line of people with a press pass and have people like, "Come on, go in."
Yeah.
We get in front of the VIP, so that was what she got to ask that question to Ahsoka. I think that might be never mind the baby or our wedding or all the wonderful things I've done over these years. I think that was the coolest thing I've ever done for her.
That's
where I was
awesome.
like, I'm so getting late for this.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Things
But
are
we're
going
parents,
down,
so like
baby.
we're gonna plan it out to get the kids. So it's
After,
It might take a month.
bedtime. After bedtime.
It might take a month
If
in a
we're still
hotel.
awake.
Yeah.
Oh.
And by sex, I mean like some good sleeping. Like,
Yeah.
maybe I'm sleeping in for this.
Girl, nothing is sexier
Then a
than
nice sleep.
nice,
Yes.
nice,
Yeah.
REM sleep.
I woke up. Felicity woke me up at like 7 the next morning. I'm like, oh, I'm so tired.
Well, I was surprised after our time there at the Boom Bots too. I was glad you woke up. I'm glad you didn't have too much of a hangover and everything.
When? This morning?
Yeah, from our Boom Bot, not the Boom Bots.
Oh,
from
the other
Saturday.
night.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't drink yesterday.
I had 1.5. I don't drink, so I was like, I had a hired cider and half a beer. And that was the most
I
ever
had a
do.
lot of wine, and it was delightful. I loved it.
What did you think about Rhode Island as a whole? Because like no one ever knows where we are. Like people think we're in New York. Like, oh, Rhode Island is that Long Island? Like,
Hey,
no.
everyone here is super nice. All the people that we've met from like bars and clubs and whatnot, and hear the panels and vendors. Everyone here was just like
Yeah.
super cool. No one was like standoffish. I'm glad I did not see the Billy Williams or William Shatner or anything like that there too. Cause I'm the one that guys there too that I probably would have said something.
Yeah.
If you're being a-hole to other people because they're here to see you, it's a comic con convention, all right?
Yeah,
your movies are a fucking comic book thing here, so yeah.
I just would like to come back and do more exploring
Yes.
of the city and the area because, spending 4 days here, I didn't even really get outside of like a 4-block radius.
Yeah.
I don't really leave downtown.
Which is totally cool, but like I've heard of quite a few interesting places to check out that I think maybe next year.
Yeah. I would be down to just come down
I
here.
would love to give you like a proper tour of the city.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, we did we went to Haven Brothers, which is the oldest diner in America.
Oh, that good food,
good.
good greasy
That was
food there.
And we took a quick second at Waterfire, which got to give you a little peek of what that was.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Interesting.
And then the east, that way the east side. I love Providence. I'm a stand for it.
It's awesome.
A beautiful city.
Yeah, it's really nice out here.
I really love it.
We're gonna start to wrap up this episode
you guys
here.
I've never done a podcast where someone had to end because they had to get on a plane. So this was really cool.
Yeah.
We got
back to you guys. We got a jet.
Minneapolis here, but again, shout out to you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. I'm so glad we got to meet.
Yes, thank you for letting me interject myself into your.
I'm glad you did. This has been epic and amazing because you have just been wonderful to everyone here, and you've been a huge help in promoting Cinema Recall, and I'm thankful, and I'll always be grateful to you for that.
Really happy to meet all of your podcast friends. It's
Yeah.
so nice. They're all so cool.
I know I'm back at work like a sucker today, and it's still like, oh, that just happened.
Yeah.
Did I just meet Vern?
Amazing.
Did I sing karaoke last night?
Did I hug Matthew Lillard?
Yeah.
Jeez. Chris Revill of Let's Chat with Chris Revill.
Yay, Chris!
Thank you for being out here, buddy.
Yeah, if things go well, your episode will drop today because I had no energy to edit last night.
Okay,
Yay.
perfect, awesome. Yeah, I missed it for the last episode too with Dwight Hurst from Broken Brains podcast.
That was fun. I wanted to push that back a week and put this up instead.
Okay,
right
all right,
on.
fair enough, man. But yes, as always, I mentioned before our last episode of Cinema Recall podcast, we're gonna have new episodes posting with Boomer, who's one of our Patreon members. You can find that episode right now on patreon.com/Cinema Recall Pod. That we're talking about the movie Intruder. That's going to be posted later on this week. We'll have an episode next week with Bubbleweed from Let's Chat and Bubbleweed from It's Time to Rewind podcast. I keep losing track of people with the different shows, so check that out. CinemaRecall.net, Facebook, Twitter, cinema at cinema_recall, and that's it. I can't talk anymore. I gotta go, people.
Go to Instagram, massage.bomb.
All right, ladies, everyone.
Bye.
This show is a proud member of the Let's Chat Club. Learn more about how we're helping podcasts to build conversation, connection, and community at letschatpodcast.net.